guys. So we keep solving the GR Math 0568. Okay, so usually the next 10 questions will get more difficult, but still easy to solve. Okay, so ask about how you approximate this. So when I did the approximation, what I would do is I find that 256 is exactly 16 squared. So I know that it's definitely larger because we are using we are solving we are the multiple we are the single choice problem. So I only need this lower bound, then I may get an answer. So it's gonna be larger than this. Okay, so this is larger than square root of this is. So you can do the math. You can try to get this. Okay, maybe my computation is wrong, but 4116. So you know the answer is E because only E is larger than this one. So we get it. Okay, 12. AB2B2 matrix, and there's a constant as sum of the entries on each row and each column is A. So basically, suppose you let this is A, then this is K minus A. And then this is also K minus A because the column sum and the row sum need to be K. So this is A. So which one is the eigenvector? It's very so for this one we check that 1 0 is A and K minus A, which is not proportional to 1 0. So by symmetry 2 is impossible. So we can check the third is A, K minus A, K minus A. We get K, right? So this is K 1 1. So the answer is C. Only the third. A total X feet of fencing is from 3 slides of level rectangular yard. So basically you have total X, and then you separate into like this rectangular yard with 3 sides. And they ask about the maximum of this region. So basically you have constraint that X equals to A plus 2B, and then we want to maximize AB. Okay, so this can be solved by the arithmetic geometric inequality. So basically all we need is, suppose we have two number U and V is all positive, then U plus V divided by 2 is larger than the square root of U times V. Okay, so then to solve this, it's easy that since we know that X equals to A plus 2B, and we want to maximize AB. So A plus 2B will larger than the square root A to B, and then this is X over 2. So A to AB will smaller than X squared over 4, and AB will smaller than X squared over 8. So the maximum is X squared over 8, which was B. Unit of the unit digit in the standard decimal expansion of the number 7 to the 25. Okay, so this is the famous kind of number theory that you just try to find a pattern. So 7 squared is 49 divided by 10. 9 times 7 is 63. So modulo 10 is 3. 3 times 7 is 1. 1 go back to 7. Okay. So 25 can be written 4 plus 6 plus 1. So after 4 cycle, it becomes the first one, 7. So we choose D. 15. So 15 is analysis problem. You know that f is continuous function on a closed interval, which following not necessarily true. Okay, so there's a lot of theorem about a continuous function, but I list the important one, some important properties. So minus 2 is compact. So continuous function on a compact set is compact. So this tells you that f is bound. Okay, so A is correct. Also, the second is continuous function is integrable, Riemann integrable on any closed interval. So basically, B is also correct. And the C is just the standard. Basically, it's the continuity result. So I think it's easy. And D, you say that there's an M such that there's a points average. This can also be proved. How to prove this? Let me remind myself. Yeah, so basically, if they're continuous function, that means there must be some points for some C inside here. I guess this can be proved by basically it's like a mean value theorem. You can let G of x equals x to a f of t, and then you use the mean value theorem, then you can prove this. So this is also correct. Now, E is obviously that the f prime of 0 need not necessarily exist, because I can just consider the function the absolute value of x. Then this f is well defined on minus 2, 3. But it's still the derivative at 0 is not exist. So the answer is E. Okay, so y is 1 over square root 1 plus x squared. And ask you about the rotation volume. So the volume just pi and f of squared dx and the region. So it's the first region, so 0 to infinity. So it's pi 1 over x squared dx 0 to infinity. So it's pi arctangent x infinity to 0. So it's pi over times pi over 2. So it's pi squared divided by 2. So 16 we choose D. 17. How many roots? Okay, so two facts. For the odd degree polynomial, there are real coefficient. There are odd number of real solutions. So f is odd degree poly with real coefficient. So it has one property. There are a number of real solutions. So the 0 is not the answer. 2 is not answer. Only 1, 3, 5. Okay. So remember that f prime of x is 4x to the 4 plus 8. So always larger than 0. So that means if you have a point which f meets at this point, then it keeps increase. So at most you have 1 point. At most you have 1 solution. Since we already know there are only odd number solutions, so it contains 1. So the answer is B, one solution. And 18 said that V is a real dimension of 2 times 3 matrix. W is a 1-4 matrix. So you have 2 vector spaces. So basically, you don't care. You don't need to care about the matrix. All you need to care is the dimension. You can think you have 2 abstract vector space. One is V and one is W. And you ask about the dimension of the subspace of the kernel. And they also tell you that the linear transformation is onto. Okay, so to solve this, what we need to know is the famous theorem that the dimension. Let me write it. Dimension of so basically the dimension of kernel V plus the dimension of the image V at most is dimension V. This is a linear algebra important theorem. So basically, dimension of kernel V is what we want to know, and dimension V is 6, 2 times 3. And dimension of image V. Notice that image V is W, right? Because kernel. It say that the W is onto. So this is 4 times 1. So dimension of kernel V is 2. Dimension of kernel V is 2. So we choose A. Okay, so 19. You know that F prime larger than Z prime for all x larger than 0. Which one must be correct? This is the mean value theorem that you can define f of x to be f minus g. And of f of x minus f of 0 will be some point c larger than 0 times x. This is the mean value theorem. So when we plug in, we have f of x minus f of x, g of x minus f of 0 plus g of 0 larger than 0. Because f prime of c is larger as f prime minus g prime is larger than 0. And x is larger than 0. So we have this. So the answer is C. So this kind of problem is just some technique you need to remember. Okay, so the question 20 is also the famous one that in each GRE test you might see this question many times. As x is rational and x is irrational. So the continuous point need to have this property that the rational point and irrational point should meet together, because irrational and irrational point are always dense in R. So the continuous point, the point which continuous satisfy this equation. So only one point is continuous. X equals 0. So D is a set of points which of discontinuity of F. So D is just only all the points minus the origin. So we choose D, the set of non-zero real numbers. Well, congratulations, we solve another 10 questions. And be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next time.